So 361 is actually a brand that is based in Asia. It's actually a large brand. So they've got like 190 retail stores in Asia. In the U.S., we just do running specialty. We started out in the U.S. market about 8 years ago. The guy that used to work for ASICS is the lead designer on all of our running footwear, so we're industry veterans. And we also own our own factories, which helps us control quality and the manufacturing capabilities of the shoes. The shoe that we've got demoing today is called the Centauri. It just won an award by Runner's World Magazine for our best everyday trainer. So we're pretty proud of this shoe. It's got a really comfortable ride. We do it in a bunch of different colorways, and we've got the ability for you guys to test drive the car before you buy them. So if you get an opportunity to try a pair out, let me know what you think. I'm also the GOO rep, and I've got some samples of our hydration tabs. Drop these in water and it dissolves in your water just like an effervescent tab. So these are the two newest flavors, strawberry hibiscus and tropical citrus. And if y'all have any questions about GOO or 361, don't hesitate to come up and ask.
Alright, well, thank you for the introduction. Thank you guys for having me out today. My name is Amber, I'm a physical therapist. I have my own practice. I started in 2020, and then I did practice in Houston for a while, but I moved to Austin. So what I do mostly for you guys would be run coaching, where we talk about form, we talk about training for your next event, making sure it's done well and smart. So today, Ben and I kind of brainstormed what we wanted to talk about, and I want to talk about my number one training error that I see when I analyze people's running form. So have any of you guys had a running analysis done?
I did 25 years ago, but I think it expired.
It might have changed a little bit.
Just a
since
little bit.
then.
25
yes,
years.
You're faster now, so it could be different.
Yeah. That would be mine.
Okay, well, I was going to ask if anybody still remembered any words on their assessments, but since we haven't had one in a while, my number one thing that I see when I'm analyzing runners, whether I've taken the video or people send in their content, is something called overstriding. So do you guys have any idea what overstriding is?
Is it when you overstride?
But can you be more specific?
It's when your body center of gravity is bouncing up and down.
No, it's when you're reaching too far in front
Yes.
of your center of gravity.
Exactly. So that's vertical oscillation. So that's another one that can definitely, like if you're dealing with Achilles problems, like that's one that we need to kind of get your center of mass lower back down. But that's another common one too. We call those bouncers. Because you see the ponytails going nuts and then everything like that. It's a ponytail sign. But overstriding is the most common one. And just like you said, it's basically you're landing too far out from your center of mass. And why we do that, I feel like there's a misnomer in the running community of whenever you want to go faster, you need to stride out more and open up your stride. And have you guys heard that before? Like, open up your stride, get everything open wider. It's not necessarily the best option for running, especially for running economy. So what I look for when I get a video is I look from people on the side, and I want to see if when they're striking, regardless of if it doesn't matter what foot strike. So if you're like, oh, my forefoot strike is excellent, this isn't going to be my problem, it can happen, okay? So no matter if you're forefoot, midfoot, or heel strikers, if it lands in front of your center of mass, so if I drop like a plumb line here, that's going to be overstriding, okay? Other things to look at is how far up is this foot? People that tend to be closer down here, it's not typically as much. But if your foot is way up here, if you're watching your pictures when you run, you get race pictures and you're like, my foot is like going up to the sky, typically a sign of some overstriding. Another thing is the knee really straight? So again, you can look at your pictures. Is my knee straight? We don't want it straight when you land. We need that to absorb some force and to take up some of those ground reaction forces. And then the last one is the angle of our shin bone. If it's really far in front, it's going to have more of an angle to the ground. Whereas if you have that nice landing position, you notice how my shin is nice and, I don't want to say the right one, vertical. So this way. So those are the four main things I'll look at a running analysis is where is their foot, where is their body in relation to their foot, and even looking at the knee. So injuries that this can lead to are shin splints. Those are no fun, right? Those are rough. But the one that really takes runners out of the equation is going to be a stress fracture. If you're landing this far, not that far, I hope not, but you're having to absorb so much force, and it's going to set you up for potential stress fractures in the tibia too. So stress fractures, runner's knee also can come from this condition, and even hamstring issues. If you have chronic, like, oh God, I just always feel my hamstring, it may be because you're extending that leg out too far when you run. So what I wanted to teach you guys today is 2 simple drills to add into your routine if you find that you are overstriding. And the first one is simple. Basically, you're just going to stand and march. And you start by just making sure that you get your feet underneath you. Yeah. So just getting your feet underneath you. And she can say it even helps with her knees already. But landing here, then you can add in your arms and add in the pace. If you're not landing in front of you, then you need to slow it down and keep it going. Then once you're feeling a little sparky, you can start taking off, walking, but landing down here in front of you. So simple things. I mean, those aren't rocket science, right? So you can do those no matter where you are, no matter what your warm-up is, to really start the process and get your body used to keeping your feet underneath you and not striding out too much. I had a client recently, she was training for a marathon and just had chronic hip pain, like it was nasty. And we did a running analysis and we noticed that she was overstriding. She had that nice straight knee. We just started those 2 simple drills and her pain, she said, I'm cautiously optimistic. This is much better, and she's been able to train even without dry needling or cupping that we were doing. Just by getting her feet underneath her a little more, she's had less pain with her runs, which that's my goal. That's what I love to hear and love to see. So simple things like that can make a huge difference in your running economy. It can really help you actually go faster and propel yourself forward without hitting those breaking forces. So